Hello, I'm Richard Welch. I'm the head of documentary at AFTRS, and we're a co-partner of the Antenna Selects and the screening of GUNDA. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Victor Kossakovsky here today to talk about his film. Before I begin, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land. I'm coming from the Gadigal and Bidjigal land and pay my respects to its elders past, present and emerging. Victor, congratulations on your film. It screened earlier in Berlin to wide acclaim. You've created yet again another cinematic masterpiece, I have to say. And you're encouraging us to look again, or perhaps to look harder at what's often right in front of us. Could you talk, to begin with, just about your motivation for telling this and making this film?
Yeah, it was when I was a kid. I spent like a couple of months in the village when I was 4 years old, and in the family I stayed. It was a little piglet, maybe 1 month, or no more than 2 months, maybe 1 month old. And winter was very cold, and they brought piglet into the house. And Piglet was living together with us, and he became my best friend. And obviously, maybe in New Eve, he appeared on the table as a dinner, and so for me it was like they killed my friend. So, and then I life wanted to make movie about it when I became filmmaker, obviously. So, but it was never possible because no one wanted to give money. So, and accidentally, it happened that we started another project with my producer Anita Larson, but it didn't happen. And I said, can we exchange for another idea? And she said, what? I said, it's about pig, chicken, and cow. And she was so brave. And she said, yes. First, I was trying 23 years to make this film with trying a few times, but no one gave me money. And she took a risk, and we did it. So you actually, when the beginning you said that I kind of push you to look properly in front of you. Yeah, this is the meaning of cinema, right? You like football players, they run fast, right? And singers, they sing beautiful. Filmmakers, they can see more than normal people. So, and normally we don't see simple things, which is in front of us, right? So that's why everybody like dogs and cats, and somehow they don't do this link. So no one in the Western world at least, no one will eat cat, house cat, right? Or house dog. Because we know they're intelligent, they have feelings, they understand us, they feel us, they express emotions, they have compassion, they have sense of humor even. So we know all of this, all of us know this. But we not allow ourselves to admit that chicken, pig, and cow they are same. They do have intellect. They do have senses. What we have, they do have feelings. They do. If you believe in God and you believe you have a soul, they do soul, and you can see in Gunda, she has soul. And if you don't believe in God, then you have to be sure that human is, and you believe in evolution instead of God, then you need to be sure that we are not the last one. and evolution will continue. And one day we'll be more clever people, clever creatures in the world, and maybe it will be more aggressive than us. And they will eat our kids. They will take our kids from mom after born and drink our milk, human milk, for coffee. And so we have to be careful, I guess. We have to respect this planet a little bit more. We have to forget that we shouldn't think that everything for us. No, not for everything for us. Why? We are just temporary here. Pigs lived here much longer than us. Why we came and conquer everything? It's a mistake. We are doing a mistake.
And in many ways, the film is a celebration of these animals, the nuances of them. And
I actually, sorry to interrupt you. I actually even wanted to call it my apology. My apology, because I know I cannot convince you. I cannot convince all people stop killing animals, stop torturing animals, because we are still killing people. We are still torturing people. We are still inventing Novichok, atom bombs, Kalashnikov. We are still inventing the horrible stuff. I am sure I cannot convince people do not kill animals, do not torture them, do not mistreat them. But at least I can do what I can do. I can do film about them, and just to say I'm sorry, guys. This is maximum I can do.
So, speaking about that, and almost to my last question, which was, why was it you chose pigs, chickens, and cows, and in particular Gunda, the one-legged chicken? Was it always that, or were you looking for particular animals, or did they find you?
Now, Gunda, I found very accident. I mean, normally we were planning to make like 6 months research trip before I found the animal. But in the first farm, in the first minute of my research, we came to first farm in Norway. We opened door and we saw Gunda. And it was obviously, she's like Meryl Streep. And I said to producer, yes, we have it. We don't need to search. She is communicating. She looked at me and she was communicating with me. So it was obviously, I don't need to search more. So, and in a way, the second title was Trinity. Trinity, it means, Trinity in a religious way, right? Father, Son, and I said, this most common food we have, right? Chicken, pig, and cow. We kill 1 billion pigs a year, 1 billion pigs a year, 500 million cows a year, and 50 billion chicken a year, 50 billion chickens. So this is our daily food. Each European eat about 80 kilograms of meat a month, a year, and American 100 kilograms of meat a month, again, a year. And on the top of it, we have to kill them, we have to freeze them, we have to transport them. In order to give them food, we have to cut forest. So what we are doing is absurd. We are probably doing, imagine we have 1 billion people with no access to water. And we have 1.5 billion cows now who needs 10 times more water than human. Just think about it. Isn't it absurd? But this is not the point. My point is, if we allow to kill them and not to think about it, we allow ourselves not to think about it. It means we have double life. All of us, we know we are killing them, but we decided we don't think about it. This is why we still have war, we still have torturing, we still have Novichok. Because we agree somehow, yeah, maybe for big purpose, maybe torturing possible, maybe for big purpose, bombing is possible. We allow ourselves not to think about it. But in fact, we are killers. That's we have to admit. But enjoy your day.
I mean, actually, to lean in that question and that statement you just made about the killers, I think the representation of violence in the film is incredibly powerful, but yet incredibly subtle. So we have the violence of, or perceived violence of Gunda with one of her piglets, but we also have the hidden violence, the mechanical violence of the humans at the end, who we don't see the humans, we see all the machinery. Can you just talk a little bit more about that and how you wanted to show this?
Yeah, you know, there are, first of all, about Gunda. If I would do propaganda film, vegan propaganda film, I obviously will cut it out, right? This episode when she kills her baby. But I didn't want to make propaganda. She doesn't need my protection. I'm not her advocate. I mean, she doesn't need, I don't know about, I cannot judge her. She lives much longer than us, right? Pigs lives millions longer. She knew that this baby is weak. She knew he will not make it, and she didn't have enough nipples to feed others. So she made this choice. So, and I tell you that for the last 20 years, I saw many films about animals and how they meet streets, and many films made in slaughterhouses. But I noticed that they didn't work, those films. They didn't work, they didn't do job, because people don't want to see this. And then I said, okay, what if I film pigs, how they are? What if I film them, their character? And what if I spend time with them? The same way, if I spend time with human. If I will film you, I will 2 months come in every day to you, and before you wake up and go back after you go sleep, I will come with best camera, with best lens, with best light, and I will give you space if you need. And I will do, with full respect, I will dedicate my time. And I said to producer, why don't we do the same? Why don't we just dedicate our life to time of our 2 months of our life and just be with them? And every morning we came 4 o'clock and we were waiting when they wake up, and then when they go sleep, we went back to hotel. So yeah, and I guess it works better if I will show violence, I guess this way, because you see her, you see what she feels, and you definitely know what she tells you in the end. She look at you and you cannot miss it. She say, what the fuck are you doing to me, right? Why are you doing this? And then when she almost came to her door and she looked last time, kind of, you're hopeless, right, guys? What to talk to you about? And she left. This is like obvious. You cannot interpret it differently. Like you don't need subtitles. She was really Meryl Streep. She was really Meryl Streep.
And so tell me a little bit about why you chose to set it on a farm, which is nature in one sense, and yet in one sense is so wonderfully man-made. So,
yeah, this 99% of pigs lives in the concrete, and as you notice in the film, they're digging all day. They're digging ground, right? So, but in fact, 99% of them, they live in a cage, little cage. They're born in a cage and they die in a cage. All of them live 10 times less than they're supposed to live. In my film, you see cow, which is 30 years old, which normally you don't see. Cow normally live 2-3 years, period. And then, so it's just different thing, right? And yeah. Yeah. Anyways, life is beautiful. Thank you very much, people.
You're famous for your 10 rules of documentary, and especially the quote about the aesthetic with the nexus of the ethical. And I'm just wondering, for this film, did you have any ethical quandaries or challenges?
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah, of course. I already told you, and like, I didn't know if I have to stop camera when she kills. And I didn't know, can I use it, for example. But then what I did is I designed house, same as she has, but I made it in a way that lens is inside, but camera and people outside, my team is outside. So we did not disturb her at all. So camera was inside and we didn't bother her really. Only lens was inside. We were outside. Even in the morning, she came to us, she checked us every morning. So she kind of, she accepted us, but still we were trying not to, we gave her space. And you feel it. You feel when she's nervous. You feel yourself, you better give her room to be nervous or to be alone. Or to, it's other time. It's same as communication with any person you live with. You know, if you feel person need space, you have to give space. This what people who watch films, they also feel it unconsciously. That's why filmmaking is, in a way, is communicating with lover. When I show you my film, I consider you as my lover, and I try to seduce you in the beginning, that you love me, that you trust me, and then when you trust me, I can show you the most intense stuff, and I know you will forgive me, because you already love me and you already trust me. This is little theory.
I think the couple of questions I want to ask, one was just about the eyes. I noticed in all the animals, in each of them, you give us enough time to just see what they're looking at. And I know a lot of people might mistake that as us trying to you trying to humanize the animals. And that wasn't what it was at all, was it? It was consciousness. And could you just talk about that, how it felt for the animals to be looking at you and how that experience was?
Yeah, there is a painting. I can show it to you if you.
Please.
I can. This is painting almost 400 years ago, and you will see that there is a kind of person, and he's surrounded by cow and bull, sheep, and they look at the camera. He doesn't look at. He doesn't look to the painter, but they do. And this was very like revolution for me. Like the painter 400 years ago considered them as main characters. And human was just looking aside. And yeah, and this is why I was filming their eyes. And about humanizing, you know, we always compare them with us, but in many levels, they are better than us. We just don't know how to compare. For example, tree doesn't have brain, but tree has intelligence. We have only 5 senses. Tree has 20. For example, you know, I made film about children, the kid who never see himself in the mirror. And it took him 20 minutes 30 minutes almost, before he understood it's him. And pig needs only one look. Pig who never seen before mirror, he needs one look to understand it's him. And he needs one look to understand reverse perspective of which mirror is. So we simply, and of course we don't know how to measure intelligence of crocodile, for example, right? Crocodile will not allow us. We just know that pigs are second intelligent because they communicate. Pigs are more intelligent than dolphin, than elephant, than whale, than horse, than dog, than crow. Pigs are more intelligent. Pigs in our schedule, second intelligent, after chimpanzee. But maybe not, maybe first. We just don't know how to measure. We just don't know how to measure. So there is no point to humanize. There is no point. We just have to accept that we are not alone on this planet. There are many of them, and they all has rights to be here, same as we do. We should not dominate. We should not destroy this. We should give them space to be. And what we do is wrong, in my opinion.
And your film gives us that space to watch that in. With the pacing and the rhythm of the film, we're immersed in, I suppose, marveling at what we should be marveling at more often. I'm just going to ask one last question, which is obviously your films are not propaganda. You said so yourself earlier with the scene. Nor would you say your films are call to action films, but clearly you're very passionate about the subject matter. And so I suppose the question I'd like to end on is, what would you like the impact of this film to be?
I will finish our talk with a quote from Leonardo da Vinci. He said, one day people will understand that to kill animal is the same as to kill human. It's a just act of killing, but it will take time. I hope the film will make it shorter this time. Ciao, people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the film.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations once again.
Thank you. Thank you.